So, can you please tell us what exactly is the conscious and subconscious mind?
Sigmund Freud spoke about the unconscious and the conscious mind first. So he said that the conscious mind had a lot of things which is present in this moment right now. And the unconscious is basically which has, it's a reservoir of all your childhood experiences, memories. And then there were other people who went on to explain this more, like Carl Jung spoke about even different stages, like he spoke about collective unconscious. So he said that a lot of your memories are there, they stay with you for not just this life. That's what also a lot of the Indian philosophy, ancient Indian philosophy speaks about, that there are lakhs of births that you go through, and basically your unconscious mind stores all of those memories and all of those experiences in that. So normally there are 1 billion bits of information that go into your brain per second, out of which you can consciously handle only 7 plus or minus 2, as per George Miller, right? So the information which you're handling in this moment is your conscious mind, and a lot of experiences, underlying thoughts, feelings, they directly go to your unconscious mind. A lot of people say that subliminal messages are also because you can't consciously see it, they directly go into your unconscious.
Yes. So, is there a difference between unconscious or subconscious, or is it the same term?
So subconscious is not very popularly used, like not used by a lot of psychologists. Specifically, the Freudian term was the unconscious. However, from what I understand, your subconscious is somewhere in the middle. It's between, like, the preconscious. That's what is popularly used. So unconscious is completely things that you're not aware, like that you may not be aware, but they're there inside. Whereas the subconscious could be understood as somewhat in the middle. So, like, if you look at your theta state of mind, that's what my understanding to subconscious is. I think subconscious, the word became popular with some books.
Okay.
Yeah.
But primarily it's called unconscious by psychologists, right?
So Sigmund Freud spoke about the unconscious.
Hi, are you enjoying the video so far? Well, yes. So don't forget to subscribe to Learn with Karen so that you don't miss out on the future videos, okay? Before I leave and we can continue the video, just a reminder, click the bell icon and share this video with as many people as you can. Bye and enjoy!
So I'm a psychologist, also a musician, and I've been very, very passionate about psychology. By now I have over 2,000 hours of experience in counseling.
But how exactly does the subconscious work? Is it just a reservoir of your past?
I would speak the unconscious. It would also guide a lot of your behaviors, your intrapersonal and interpersonal relationships. So as per Sigmund Freud, a lot of your repressed memories, so things that you repress, there are things that you suppress, which are in the unconscious. So for example, if somebody's been through trauma in the childhood, and a lot of people that you work with, who've had that kind of a trauma, they have a predisposition towards, for example, if the person or like the gender which caused the trauma, they feel uncomfortable around them, they behave very awkwardly, they start getting scared, they start feeling so it does impact your behavior, it impacts the way you feel. A lot of times things that are in your unconscious that you may not be aware that you're feeling. For example, the survivor's guilt, after soldiers came back after the World War and they did not know what they were feeling, and that's when survivor's guilt was discovered, that they were actually feeling guilty for surviving and their friends didn't survive and they survived. A lot of these things are actually going on into your unconscious, which you may not be aware. And unconsciously, you may be putting yourself down, you may be doubting yourself. They are there, and that's why sometimes you need another person, a facilitator, a psychologist, who helps you get to those thoughts and beliefs and fears. From childhood, if your parents have been maybe saying that you're not good enough, you're not, and you've believed that, but you don't know. You just believe for sure that you're not good. You don't have reasons why. Okay, and so that's where, if you use the psychodynamic approach, we go back to the try to understand why. So go to the past, try to understand those experiences and resolve those to be able to live a better life.
I love how you brought in the point of the thoughts, and our reality currently is being affected by our thoughts. Our behaviors, even if we don't recognize it right now, is being affected somehow by our unconscious mind. Like you gave the example of like a survivor's guilt. So are you suggesting that yes, our reality is affected by our thoughts because through the unconscious and the conscious mind?
Definitely. Our thoughts, in fact, what the cognitive behavioral approach also believes is that majority of the mental disorders are caused by our thoughts, and there are errors in thinking, and you have to correct those errors. Basically, that's what cognitive behavior therapy, REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy, works on, is that you have to find these thoughts and kind of correct them, because they have a direct impact in the way you. A lot of theorists also believe that depression, for example, it needs a thought restructuring. A lot of experiments by Martin Seligman about, the learned helplessness. It's like when you learn life in a certain way, you start believing, and that's how your thoughts are. This is, I'm bad, I'm worse. I'm not good in anything. If you fail in an exam, I'm not worthy of living. I'm not a worthy person. I will not succeed anywhere in life. So these are the thoughts which are leading to depression. When you start correcting them, automatically you are able to feel better. So it's Roger Mill spoke about these four levels of the stunt technique in CBT. One is what you're thinking. Second is ask if it's true. Okay, and then ask if it's useful. So STU, and if it's not useful, then find new ways of thinking. Like, would clarify that the psychodynamic approach, which spoke about the unconscious, did not speak about thought corrections. That is something the cognitive behavior therapists, because cognitive behavior, the behavior therapy was of the opposite views, because these guys said that your past affects your current state, and whereas these behaviorists said that no, you can change every behavior is learned, and you can change your behavior by the principles that they use, like reinforcement.
So is there any last thing you would like to let us know about the unconscious mind, something that we should know?
I would say that, no matter what it is, whether the unconscious is a real thing or not, okay, what you perceive, that does not include everything that you've sensed. Like I spoke for the 1 billion bits of information that enter your head per second. So the reason why it's important to know these things is because sometimes somewhere underlying your own, there are those thoughts and those aspects of yourself which you've been hiding to, or you don't want to face them, which, like thoughts like repression, the defense mechanism, which Sigmund Freud spoke about. I agree with them. I relate to that a lot. Thoughts like, for example, for some people, they are so attached to their to achievements. So their worth is, self-esteem is contingent on the success of anything, academic success or those kinds of things. So we try to discover what's the underlying thought behind that, and then we find out that maybe the person does not feel worthy because the person from childhood has been hearing that only people who go to these colleges will be respected, and so in that sense, I just don't completely discard the idea of the unconscious. I like to take the psychodynamic approach. I like to go deeper than just words and just what's on the front. And for that, I would also say that it's always good to listen to that inner voice, introspect within yourself, ask yourself the questions, try to, like I spoke with the stunt technique, try to spot, is there something? And if you find it very difficult, psychologists are always there to facilitate that process. But it's best to be congruent in what's going on unconsciously. So unconsciously, maybe you may not feel that you're doing right by putting someone down or making fun of them, but consciously you're just doing it just to comply. Ask yourself once, and I'm sure you'll get an answer to understanding who you are, what do you want to do, and whether what you're doing is the right thing or not.
Thank you so much for your insights on the conscious and the unconscious. And it has been super helpful to understand it. I'm sure most of us have learned it somewhere if we studied psychology in school or college, that is. But many of us are totally unaware of what the unconscious is, how it works. So you speaking about it has really helped us clear some doubt. And I'm sure people have liked the session. Thank you so much, Jahnavi, for coming here and speaking about it. Good luck, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.